Joining us now from Israel is the former international spokesperson for the Israel Defense Forces. He is now a senior fellow at the Foundation for Defense of Democracies in Washington, D.C. Lieutenant Colonel Jonathan Conricus is with us. Jonathan, always great to see you. You and I have been talking about this for years. The coming showdown between Israel and the Iranian regime. The moment of reckoning has now arrived, and the Iranian regime appears to be, and its military machine right now, Jonathan, appears to be in tatters. 1/3 of their ballistic missile launchers eliminated by the IDF. Countless Iranian top military generals. The Natanz nuclear site in ruins. What's your assessment thus far of Operation Rising Lion?
Shalom, Eric, and shalom to everybody watching. Yes, this is not the first and not the 10th time that we speak about it. And of course, this has been in the making for the better part of, I would say, 20 or 25 years. The Islamic Republic of Iran has been waging an indirect and lately direct war against the State of Israel. The Islamic Republic has an official goal to annihilate the State of Israel, or as they refer to it, the Zionist regime. And they were sprinting in order to achieve nuclear weapons capabilities. I don't think that the Iranians will achieve not the destruction of Israel and not nuclear weapons. What Israel is doing now is disassembling the Iranian regime's ability to project force, but also to project control over Iran itself. Israel has blasted its way and today has aerial superiority in Iranian skies, unprecedented, by the way, in history. No other country has ever done that and achieved that against Iran. And Israeli airplanes are, as we speak, attacking military targets and nuclear targets according to a very well-defined and researched list of targets. You mentioned a few, but as we speak, or an hour ago, Israel expanded the types of targets that it is striking, and is now striking the television or the propaganda arm of the Iranian regime for the first time. And this is after most of the Supreme Command was taken out. Many key nuclear scientists were taken out. And as I said, air defenses. So this is a historic moment. I don't use that reference lightly, but this is an historic moment. And I really hope that this will lead to stability and prosperity in the Middle East for everyone.
Yeah, Jonathan, well said. I think we are on the verge of a new Middle East. It's ultimately exciting. And just to draw the distinction here, Israel today called for civilians in Tehran, the Iranian capital, to evacuate. Israel goes to great pains to avoid any civilian casualties. On the other hand, Iran, Jonathan, is intentionally targeting Israeli civilian centers. Talk more about that. Iran, again, they are intentionally aiming to kill women and children, civilians.
Yeah, the numbers tell the story, and no volume of Iranian rhetoric and propaganda can convince anybody differently. Israel so far has 28 fatalities, all of them civilian. 590 people have been wounded, almost all of them civilian. And that is, of course, a direct result of massive Iranian missile fire at Israeli cities. The images are unimaginable. You know, you look at the scenes, the impact scenes, entire residential buildings, 7, 8, 10 floor buildings, when they get a direct hit, we've seen them crumble and disintegrate. And that is, of course, because the Iranians are using ballistic missiles. These are objects almost as big as an American school bus. They weigh about a ton and about 500 kilograms of high-level explosives at the tip of each one of them. Now, Israeli air defenses have been very effective, and they've shot out of the sky most of what the Iranians have fired at Israel. Sadly, the Iranians have found a way to kind of overwhelm air defenses and locally in a certain geographic area overwhelm the air defenses and get a few missiles to slip through. But by and large, despite the fact that we have had 24 casualties, the defenses are working. Israel supported by the U.S., actively supported by the U.S., is defending itself. This is, again, an opportunity for me as an Israeli to express gratitude for the defense collaboration between Israel and the U.S., for the fact that we are using weapon systems that were developed together, Israel and the U.S., and most of it was U.S. funding. And this is tremendously important. And by the way, return on investment, all of the weapon systems are now combat proven, and a lot is modified as we speak. And that's, of course, a great thing for America, because the weapon systems that were built together are now feeding back into the American system as well.
Yeah, great breakdown. And I just keep thinking, Jonathan, these ballistic missiles we're seeing bombard Haifa, Tel Aviv, the Galilee, what if they were nuclear tipped? That was the end game for the Iranian regime. And I think the Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, alluded to this earlier this morning. Israel right now is really acting as the first line of defense for all of Western civilization. They're fighting the good fight for the entire free world on the front lines. The end game. I know we're still obviously in the midst of it. There's much work to be done by the IDF. Does the end game look like a complete dismantlement of Iran's nuclear program, a massive dent in its ballistic missile capabilities? There's already reports that Iran, behind the scenes, is scurrying for a ceasefire. What is a satisfying end game for Israel here in this operation?
Yeah, so two parts to that. What I would have liked to hear from the Germans, the French, the Brits, and the Canadians and all other democracies in the world would have been, thank you, Israel. Thank you, Israel. We stand by Israel with no ifs and buts, but we support Israel because you are doing the heavy lifting and the dirty work for the free world. And if we put this into historical context, this will be the third nuclear military program that Israel takes care of in the Middle East that belong to crazy Muslim regimes. 1981, Osirak, 2007, Deir Azur, so Iraq and Syria, and now 2025, Iran. No other country has done that, and even though critics around the world will blame Israel for taking aggressive action, this is preemptive action, and this is actually promoting stability and promoting peace and doing a good thing for the world, for the region, and for the world. And I think that Israel should get much better support. Now, Endgame, here it becomes interesting because officially Israel speaks about the nuclear program and taking care of an existential threat. I believe that. But I think that there's another end game here beyond the things that you so correctly pointed out, ballistic missiles and their ability to continue to fund terror organizations around the world and in the Middle East. Those are very important targets. But I actually believe that Israel would be very happy to see the Iranian regime go under. I don't think that Israel has the capacity to execute regime change. Iran is a nation of about 100 million. We're less than 10 million. We are about 10 million, and they're far, far away. But I think that Israel would definitely be happy, relieved, and it would favor Israel and the region if the Islamic regime of Iran would indeed be toppled by the Iranian population. Israel isn't operating in order to achieve that yet, but it's clear, and anybody who is a moderate studier of history knows that any non-democratic regime, the enemy number one of any tyrant is first and foremost the people that they oppress. And the Iranian people, as they see the Iranian regime weakened, exposed, vulnerable, and not capable of defending itself against an external force, maybe they will be motivated to reclaim their freedom, reclaim governance, and to get rid of the Islamic regime. That's still in the future, but I think there's a chance that things will go that way.
Yeah, and they are the main victims, the Iranian people, of this evil regime, Jonathan. And people need to know, prior to 1979, that Islamic Revolution, Iran and Israel had a great relationship. We pray that's on the horizon once again. Jonathan Conricus, thank you so much, my friend. Stay safe. God bless you, Jonathan. Great breakdown. We'll see you again soon.
Thank you, Eric. Shalom.
What a great breakdown from our good friend, Lieutenant Colonel Jonathan Conricus. Now, folks, you just got the Israeli military perspective there from Lieutenant Colonel Conricus.